My name is Cott-Acosta, and this week I have chosen to read Drowned City, a Hurricane Katrina and New Orleans book. It's by Robert Seifert Honors book. In August 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, causing the people there to be devastated. The water came rushing in. People did not have time to get out. Those that tried to get out didn't leave. So many of them were left there basically to die. The water was so high it was up above their roofs. They waited for rescue for days. A lot of the elderly people were too sick. They were living in horrible living conditions waiting for help, and some of them did not get out. 1,400 people died that week from that Katrina. Neighbors got their boats out. They tried to help people get out of there. They brought in reinforcements. They finally got President Bush to start bringing in food and supplies for them. The hospitals were overcome, and they could not move everybody that was severely ill, so they had to keep them there. Children were even found helping with some of the rescue equipment because the water had devastated so much of their supplies that they had no way of and electricity to keep the life-saving measures that some of the people in their hospitals needed. Children were helping with breathing masks and helping just to keep people that were needing oxygen supplied what they could do at the time. Most of the people that were sick didn't make it through because they didn't have the right resources to help them. State begins to help. They come in and they bring in some things. People begin to loot because there's no food or water. They start tearing up things and taking anything they can. People are dying of starvation. They're dying of thirst. The smell was horrific. The urine and feces were left from the sewers into the water. People had no place to use the restroom. There was no running water whatsoever to take care of any of the diseases that were forming there. It was so devastating. So many people, only about 80% of the people actually came back to that area to live after the cleanup and everything was done. A lot of the homeless were sent to the other states and were not strong enough to return there and build. One of the most devastating things to me watching it on the news, as I remember, was seeing the houses that wrote in red if there were people alive or dead, and there were bodies to be picked up from those houses later on because they couldn't do anything with them right then and there. Hurricane Katrina was a very big devastation to a lot of people. It's really sad that so many people in our own country had to go through what they did with such a natural disaster. It's a really good book. I think it's best for kids ages like 6th to 8th grade. Really good to make them do a report and to understand what other people can go through sometimes. The Drowned City, Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. Thanks. Have a good night.